Welcome to Texas. It's time to kick off the Great American Wheat Harvest for 2021. Well, it looks ready. Wow, look at all those combines running together in one field. When you're running combine and have that view over there, that's just pretty awesome. That's almost as awesome as watching that Mike Les guy on YouTube. That is one good-looking tractor and grain cart. Hello YouTube, it is Farmhand Mike bringing you probably the first of many wheat harvest videos for the summer of 2021. I am down in the Burkburnett Texas area, out in the field with Paplow Harvesting out of Worthington, Minnesota. This is the kickoff of their custom harvest down here for a farm, and they brought their 8 Case International 8250 combines, all with MacDon FD145 Draper heads. You're also going to see a John Deere 9770 STS combine in this video. That belongs to the farmer himself, so he's out here cutting with the custom crew. So you're going to see 9 combines running in the same field. And Paplow also brought their 3 Magnum Tractors, pulling the grain carts to keep up with all the combines. The wheat harvest here in north central Texas is getting off to a slow start, as this area has been getting a lot of rain and delaying the harvest. Lots of custom harvest crews have been down here setting for weeks. Winter wheat harvest down here normally starts somewhere between mid-May to the 1st of June, and custom harvest crews come from all over the United States and Canada to harvest the wheat crop, and they follow the wheat crop as it ripens to the north. The big Great American Wheat Harvest will start down here in this area, north central Texas, from say Wichita Falls, well over past Vernon, Texas, and so forth. And as the wheat crop ripens, they'll follow the harvest north, all the way up to North Dakota and even into Canada. I was working down this way, so I decided to spend the weekend here to get all the wheat harvest footage I could for YouTube. Well, the weather didn't cooperate with anybody, but I did get a little bit of footage. So I started out here on Friday afternoon, June 4th, with Paplow Harvesting, and they thought they were going to be in full swing by the time I got here in the afternoon. I got here about 3:30, 4 o'clock. They had to move fields. You seen the mud there where they was gathering up the combines and moving on. Come out here to cut some test samples, and the moisture was still almost 16% here. They waited a little bit, did a couple other samples, and by 6:30, the moisture in the wheat was getting down enough that they could actually harvest. Ideally, they don't want to harvest any wheat to haul to the elevator above 13.5 to 14%. By 6:30 in the evening, the test sample was showing the wheat was down to 12.9%, so they had all 9 combines out here running, and they knocked out this field pretty quick. Now, I know there's going to be a lot of comments and questions in this video, so I'm going to try to explain this the best I can. Normally these custom crews will start down in this area, but they don't necessarily run all their combines together in the same field. However, this is the first job of the season. They're not going to split the crew up yet. They got a lot of new operators here, so it's good to keep everybody together for training and so forth. And a lot of people are probably going to be wondering why they're not cutting this field out, just going around and around in a square. And if you look closely, they're cutting contours here. There's a lot of terraces down in this part of the world to prevent erosion. When these guys get rain down here, they normally don't get these nice soaking rains like we get back home. If they get 2 or 3 inches of rain, they normally get it all at once. So the terraces in the field help prevent erosion and stop all that water from rushing off, causing flash flooding. So the combines are going to come in here, they're going to follow these terraces around and cut them. So you're going to see this video, all the combines are going to be split up as they follow the terraces and cut different sections out of the field. Another thing I get a lot of comments on is the wheat yields down here. People look at this crop and say that field doesn't look very good. So another thing I would like to explain is this is all winter wheat down here, and a lot of these farms down here grow this wheat mostly for grazing cattle on. They'll tell you they actually make their money grazing cattle on this over the winter time. Then come March, when it looks like it starts growing good again and it's going to make something, they'll pull the cattle off of it and let it grow for grain. So a lot of times you're going to see yields down here in that 30-35 bushel an acre spot and so forth. And these guys do not get the rainfall a lot of times like we do up in the Midwest in the Corn Belt. If you drive these areas of north central Texas up into Oklahoma and even parts of southern Kansas in the wintertime, you're going to see these green winter wheat fields, but there's going to be cattle out there grazing on them. These guys tell me they've been down here for almost 2 weeks and they've been waiting on the weather to get started. They had a good day at cutting the day before I got here. Of course, there's been a lot of humidity down here because of all the rain, and that's delaying the harvest. A lot of these crews are needing to move north, but they got to finish their jobs down here. And the weekend I was down here, they got a lot more rain, had a lot of humidity, and there was very little wheat cut in Texas. I did get some more footage you're going to see in some future videos where I had to go up into Oklahoma a little bit. While we were waiting on the wheat to dry, I got to talk to a lot of the guys here, and there's guys on this crew from all over the United States. They had one member on the team that was from Virginia, a couple guys out of the state of New York, Montana, all over the Midwest. A lot of these custom crews are going to work their way north as the wheat ripens, and they're going to go all the way up to North Dakota. Some of the crews do go into Western Canada. Some of the crews will jump the Rockies and actually go over into Idaho, Oregon, and Washington to pick up some custom wheat harvest over there. Then when the wheat is all done and harvested, a lot of these crews will come back south and they'll harvest fall crops such as corn, soybeans, sunflowers, and so on. If you're looking for an adventure of a lifetime, a lot of these custom crews are always hiring. A lot of them have a Facebook page. You can go into the Help Wanted in a farm magazine and so forth, and often get a job with one of these as a combine operator, truck driver, grain cart operator, whichever you choose. And while we were waiting for the wheat to dry, supper was catered to the field, which is pretty common out here. A lot of these crews will have a cook on staff, and they'll pack their lunch, and then supper's normally hauled to the field. And tonight, they had ham, mashed potatoes, corn, dinner rolls, and everything was just pretty good. Check this out. I went last, but it was good, and that's when they got the news that the wheat was dry, and off they went cutting. Also need to mention the 3 tractors in the video are all Case International Magnum 340s, pulling 3 different grain carts. You're going to see an Elmer's Hallmaster 1300 grain cart, a Brent 1396 grain cart, and a Demco 1322 grain cart. And as you have probably already seen, these guys have a pretty nice fleet of semi-trucks. This field was my first encounter of mosquitoes for the summer of 2021. However, I didn't run into any wild hogs or rattlesnakes. That's a good thing. I've been down here plenty of times for wheat harvest, and it starts getting towards evening, and the hogs will come out of the brush into the wheat fields. I'm also told the rattlesnakes down here don't rattle anymore because the hogs will go after them and eat them. And the wild hogs can be awful destructive on cropland. Around 5:30 p.m., the second sample of wheat come back as too wet. They really thought they were done for the evening. They lined all the combines up as you see here. Dinner was served on the back of that truck you see. And that's when they got the good news to go cut, and off they went. So for the rest of the video, you're going to see all the combines, tractors, and grain carts turned loose. Normally, a custom harvest crew would not be running all their machines this tight together in such a small space, but they were just closing down on the last corner of this field, and everyone joined in for this great drone shot you see here. They did get this field all done right before dark, got all the machines lined up for this great photo op here, and who knows, I may run across these guys later on in the summer in another state harvesting wheat. That's going to do it for this video. I hope everyone enjoyed it. Feel free to hit that like button and comment below. If you're new to the channel, not a subscriber, please consider subscribing to my channel. If you want more information on what's going on with the wheat harvest here, a good website to go to is All Aboard Harvest, or you can check them out on Facebook, All Aboard Wheat Harvest, and you can follow the crews as they move north and harvest the wheat across the Great Plains of America. Paplow Harvesting is one of the correspondents on that, so definitely check it out. They also have a Facebook page, Paplow Harvesting, to keep up with what they're doing. Anyways, remember you can also find me on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok at Farmhand Mike. As always, thanks for watching and supporting my social media.